So I have gone back and forth on this. Do we think that Ryan Poles is going to get a significant return for Justin Fields? Because the experts are saying yes. Jay Glazer, Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter.
Schefter said definitely a 2, maybe even a 1.
Yeah.
He's the one who put that out there.
Yeah, they've all talked about it being like a robust market for Fields.
And every mock that we have, every mock trade written by Draftniks, and we've got them up here, is a pretty good compensation package.
It is. I agree. And I think Fields is a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL who's got a tremendous amount of upside, so it should return something. And a lot of people are saying, look at the Sam Darnold trade. That was a 2nd, a 4th, and a 6th. That was a terrible trade for Carolina. Like, just because they made a bad trade.
Theoretically, you'd think teams would learn from stuff like that.
Exactly. So
Theoretically. Quarterback makes them crazy, though.
It does. And it just takes one to overpay. But so here's the gambling odds right now on Justin Fields' next team.
All right. Will you do me a favor and start at the bottom? Because I think this informs the reality. Because as you're talking about, are they going to get a good deal or not? I don't know how many teams are genuinely in on it, even though they are purported to be in on it.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. So, I got every team listed. I mean, I can give you the Packers at 300 to 1.
Yeah.
I could give you the Dolphins at, right?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to give you, how about I give you 35 to 1 or less?
Sure.
And that is 9 teams.
Okay.
All right?
Perfect.
The Minnesota Vikings. Anybody think that trade's happening in division? It's happened before. Lions and Vikings made the Hawkinson trade in division.
It seems very unlikely for a couple of reasons. One is I suspect Cousins is actually going to be back there. So that's a big thing. But number 2, the kind of passer that O'Connell would want in his system and how
strikes me as unlikely.
It strikes me as unlikely that he's the kind of offensive mind who would do what you have to do when you get Fields, which is to cater the game plan and play design and play calling to his skill set.
Tampa Bay, 35 to 1.
Baker Mayfield just had a monster year.
Correct.
That's ridiculous.
I agree. All right. 30 to 1, Seattle.
Seattle just decided to go back with Geno Smith, $12.7 million. They had a guarantee yesterday, and they did it.
Yep. Okay.
And Geno Smith, I think they think that Shane Waldron was part of the problem.
So now there's a big jump up in the odds.
But those were the 3 that I've seen where I'm like, I don't get it.
I agree. The Las Vegas Raiders. They hired Luke Getsy.
They did.
They hired Luke Getsy.
Just today.
Cross them off then.
Just today, Luke Getsy was quoted as saying wonderful things.
I know.
That's on me.
I know.
About Justin Fields.
I know, but let's not be out of town stupid on this. That's not happening.
Said he loved working with him, an absolutely great person. He continued to get better, worked his butt off, and he believes he'll continue to get better everywhere he goes. I think it's insane to think of the two of them working together, as Getsy did not do what you need to do when working with Fields, and Justin knew it.
Okay. Next.
So that's a no, right?
That's what I'm saying. It's a no.
It's a no. So
this exercise, we're doing it this way for a reason. All right. Next, Washington, 12 to 1.
Washington can just sit right there and take their pick of a rookie that Cliff Kingsbury and Dan Quinn like.
Correct. Why would they trade a premium draft asset for a quarterback that has 1 year of being cheap left when they can just stand pat and have a quarterback who's arguably a better prospect in Drake May or Jaden Daniels for 4 years of being cheap? Why would they do it?
Because maybe they believe that what people have been talking about wanting the Bears to do in terms of trading down that pick, and you grab Marvin Harrison Jr. and a few other things, and stocking up and building around a quarterback who already exists is a smarter way to do it.
Hell of a gamble for a first-year head coach. Not that Dan Quinn hasn't been a head coach before, but that he would not take the rookie quarterback. Strikes me as extremely unlikely. You want to cross them off, or do you want to include them?
No. I think you got. Yeah, I think you have to. I think you have to include them.
You include what? Okay.
Yeah, I do because then you're getting into what they believe of the quarterbacks that they scout. Maybe they're like, I don't know if Jaden Daniels can even turn into what Justin Fields is. I don't know if I like Drake May for what I want to do. So maybe they punt on the quarterback thing.
All right, I'd be very surprised, but we'll keep Washington in. Denver at 12-1.
It's an interesting one.
Denver's an interesting one. I agree with you.
Russell Wilson is going to get traded somewhere.
Here's the problem with Denver. They don't have a lot of draft picks. They've got their pick, 12th overall. We all agree that's not happening. They don't have a second-round pick. The Saints have it in the Sean Payton trade. They have the Saints' third-round pick that they got back. They've got a fourth-round pick from the Bradley Chubb trade. They've got their fifth-round pick, another fifth-round pick from the Jets, and a sixth-round pick from San Francisco. So they have too high of a first-round pick, and they don't have a second-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
So they would be trading future draft capital. They would be trading 2025 draft capital.
When they've had so little of it, and they have so little of it this year because the last time they traded for a quarterback.
Right. So that doesn't strike me as, I don't know that they've got the things to appeal to you unless they were willing to give up a 2025 first-round pick, which would obviously appeal to the Bears.
Yeah.
That would be I would do that trade in a heartbeat if I was Ryan Poles.
It's hard to imagine Denver doing that.
I agree.
But we don't know what Sean Payton thinks about Justin Fields.
All right, we'll go through. Let's get to these quickly because we have 2 pieces of audio to get to here. New England then is a big jump at 5-1.
So New England, I've seen a lot of possibilities out there, and it's been written up in different ways. Just a Chad Ryder on NFL.com had the Patriots trading up. So the Patriots would swap first-round selections with Chicago this year. So that would be 9 swapped for 3. Can you imagine? And also give up a 2024 fourth-round draft pick in that trade. If the Patriots did that for a pick swap and a 4 next year.
It feels like they're rebuilding. Maybe Gerard Mayo loves Justin Fields, maybe. But it feels, again, like they would take a same exact thing. They can just stand pat and take a rookie quarterback for cheap.
Washington's at 2 and the Patriots are at 3.
Right.
Just stay there and take a QB
Guys,
cheap.
these recent former players.
As coaches?
Well, generally speaking, what we found during this time is like former players and guys that are current players all love Justin.
Yep.
So Gerard Mayo being a relatively recent player, I wouldn't rule that out.
I wouldn't rule it out. I agree. He'd have to like him more than the current crop, obviously.
Also, like getting back to credibility and respectability, it's not following Mac Jones is not going to be a tough thing for Justin.
That's true.
He's not following Brady, so something there too, I think, for him.
Instant culture guy.
Texter has a fun idea on the Denver trade. Fields and the number 9 to Denver for their number 12 and a 2025 first.
I mean, I would do that.
Or even a 2025 second.
I would do the 2025 first for sure. That strikes me as a pretty lopsided deal in favor of the Bears, but I would do that. Absolutely. Then it's Atlanta at 4.5-1, the Bears at 3-1, and the Steelers at -130 as the odds-on favorite to get Justin Fields.
So the Bears are in there.
For the next team for Justin Fields. Yeah, second most likely team.
Gotcha.
For Fields to be on next year.
Falcons and Steelers are the ones we've heard the most. Here's the problem with the Steelers is that yesterday Dave Wanstead at the tail end of his segment with us, as he was walking away, wasn't even on camera, basically told us to put that baby to bed.
Love you guys.
Love you too,
guys.
Dave.
See you, man. Bye-bye.
Dave Wanstead.
Come on.
The Bears need to do something so that we can call him.
I agree.
Right?
I agree. They
got to do something.
They will. When they trade Justin to his Pittsburgh Steelers,
Yeah. Oh, my. Great question.
Oh, yeah, we should have. He's still on the Zoom. He's walking around waiting for the couch guy. He's still there. Coach! Hey, Coach!
Spiggs, I'm here. Spiggs.
Are you there?
I'm looking to see if my man, J.R. Nacero, if he delivered my truck, you know?
Dave, what do you think about Justin Fields and the Steelers?
I don't think it will not happen.
Wow.
Okay, the Steelers take their time and they think through everything, and they're very methodical. They got Kenny Pickett that they love. Mason Rudolph proved that he can come off the bench and help them win games. They made the move with our man Mitch Trubisky. That's not happening, guys, so don't even waste airtime on that.
Wow.
Well, we're wasting airtime today, Coach.
I don't know. I was pretty direct.
They've got the 20th pick in the draft.
I know. I've been dreaming of that.
So I was talking about it on First and Pod with Pony, who does afternoons in Pittsburgh, and is very.
We don't kiss each other's fannies on this show.
Never. He's very well sourced within the Steelers. He said the 51st pick he absolutely could see. He said it's more likely that Fields plays for the Bears than the Steelers would trade the 20th pick. He said they've only traded one time and it was for Minkah Fitzpatrick, a first-round pick. I said, what if it was like Fields and a third for the 20th pick?
Well,
and he said he could not see that happening.
Okay.
So he said, so their second round pick is the 51st pick in the draft.
So what's interesting is that we know Wani loves Kenny Pickett, and other people believe that the Steelers love Kenny Pickett. This from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Jerry Dulac said, I can't imagine Fields wanting to sign with a team where he won't be the number one quarterback. And I don't believe the Steelers are in the market for a number one quarterback.
Well, if they trade a second-round pick for Justin Fields...
He's the number one quarterback.
Yeah, even though they used a first-round pick on Kenny Pickett a couple of years ago. But I think that they are willing, if Tomlin loves him, and Tomlin does, Pony said that he knows that they had him rated ahead of Trevor Lawrence, that the Steelers had Justin Fields as the top quarterback in the 2021 draft, and that they always reference their pre-draft rankings on these guys. They really trust their own self-scouting. So he thinks that the Steelers' smoke is very legitimate for Fields.
And Daniel Jeremiah really thinks the Patriots' smoke is very legitimate. You need that belief to extract whatever you're going to extract from the place he's going to go.
That's why we wanted to do the exercise this way, is because everyone's saying there's going to be a lot there for Fields. There aren't that many teams. There just aren't that many teams. Here's Terry Fontenot, the GM of the Falcons, dancing around the idea of acquiring Justin Fields.
Terry, I know you're not going to give me an exact answer on this, and I would expect any.
I might, Steve. Don't sell yourself short.
I know you. I know you.
The way you ask the question, sometimes you get them. You could get breaking news right now.
Okay, well, let's go there then. The one player who continues to be linked to you via potential trade conversations is Justin Fields out of Chicago. He's from Atlanta, but you had an opportunity to draft him a couple years ago, and you decided not to. Can a player like Justin Fields show enough evolution in the first couple years of his career, and like you said, you now have a coaching change, or maybe there's a different philosophy, to make you change your mind about going and getting a player like him?
Now, I gave you too much credit. You know we can't talk about players on other
Come
rosters.
on, I knew it.
If I answer that question, Steve, I'm going to get a call. My cell phone's right there, and Ken Fiore is going to call me right away, and we're going to have tampering. And I'm talking about how excited we are about this draft. We're going to lose a draft pick if I answer that question.
Okay. But what I'm saying is, can a player then who maybe that you didn't select in a draft, you had an opportunity.
That's a good point. Can
they evolve over a couple of years? You're like, okay, this player is better than what I thought, and he fits what we're trying to do. And it doesn't have to be about your quarterback, but can a player show that type of growth as to where you really get sweet on him, so to speak?
No, that's an outstanding question, and that's why you evaluate players at every point in their career. And that's why it's so critical as we go through free agency and, again, possible trades. We're evaluating every player. You're never going to look at a report from last year or the year before. We're going to look at the evolution of the players. And so, yes, to answer your question, it is we have to be detailed and evaluate players in every phase. Look, it's the same way with people. You can have someone that you knew at a certain point in their career as a coach, and then now 3 or 4 years later, okay, where are they at this point in their career? We all grow and adapt. So speaking in general about any player, that we have to make sure we have recent reports and know where they are at this point in their careers.
So that's the Falcons GM, Terry Fontenot, on the NFL Network. I just tend to think that the teams that have the top picks are going to use those picks on a quarterback. And therefore, it's going to be tough for Ryan Poles to get a massive offer for Justin Fields when you actually do the exercise and break down the teams that need a starting quarterback and what they'd be able and willing to trade for that player.
I think the Falcons have been the most likely and continue to be the most likely. They've got the number 8 pick. So, you could take a quarterback there, obviously, but they think their roster is pretty good in a division that's gettable. They're
not trading the 8th pick for
No.
Fields.
No. They're going to use the 8th pick on something else, and maybe they'll trade their second-round pick, which is number 43. And I saw in one mock that number 43 and their 4th-round pick, number 109, a 2 and a 4 to get Fields. Because when you think about what that offense is, and we'll see what Zach Robinson does as a former pass game coordinator for Sean McVay, is their offensive coordinator. But you can just see it when you think about how Mike Vick used to stretch the running game and hand it off to Warwick Dunn or keep it and go the other way as a threat. Imagining Fields doing that with Bijan Robinson in a dome in his home state for a team that thinks they're ready makes all the sense in the world to me. Makes more sense than any other fit.
But so that's the McVay system, though. Which we just saw him run here. So I think you need more of like an Arthur Smith system when it goes into Pittsburgh that had a reliance on running, whether it was with Marcus Mariota, Desmond Ridder, things like that. So
It's true.
I think Pittsburgh makes the most sense
In terms of offensive
in
coordinator.
terms of offensive fit, culture, him and Tomlin. I
But
think
we've heard the Steelers thing now batted down as a non-starter
from Wani,
from Wani, from this Pittsburgh Post-Gazette reporter, from others.
Yeah,
it's a mess there.
Yeah,
if they really believe in Kenny Pickett, or if they really believe in Mason Rudolph, who they might bring back, I don't know. So Atlanta and Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
right.
That seems to be the two that make the most sense, unless Denver wants to trade a future first.